Charlene Stevens, the City Administrator for the City of Cottage Grove. Joining me today for Council Update is Councilmember Justin Olsen. Today our topic is going to be discussion of the Central Fire Station. Councilmember, we've talked about this a little bit before, but we had a presentation on July 20th from Wold Architects about the fire station, and maybe you can give a little background.
I'd be happy to do that. Thank you, Charlene. Fire Station number 2, which is the main fire station in the city, right across the street from St. Rita's Church, was built in 1972, and we're at a point now where that fire station has essentially outlived its useful life. So the challenge we face is we are now a 24/7, 365 operation, and that station essentially cannot support that sort of operation because when it was built at a much different time where we had a much different approach to the fire service. So what we've really tried to do recently is we've tried to move to a duty crew model from a paid on-call model, meaning that we actually have staff at the fire station all the time. And that really has improved our response time. Unfortunately, what it hasn't done is it hasn't created a comfortable living environment for those folks who have to be there. So that's one of the main reasons that we need to look at making some changes in the way that we do things with our fire service.
And with Wold Architects, we kind of came up with some guiding principles for the fire station, and maybe you want to review those a little bit also and give folks an idea of what the guiding principles are as we design the new central station.
It was really nice that Mayor Bailey and myself got to be part of the team that really had a chance to dig into how we want this to look for today and into the future. And the guiding principles that we came up with were actually developed in conjunction with a number of different folks. We had Wold obviously sit in and help us out on a contract, and then we also had our fire chief, which is Rick Redinas, along with a number of the fire staff members. We had our finance director, we had some other city staff, and what we think we came up with is the best possible outcome for at least the foreseeable future. And what we really want to look at is we want this station to be a statement of pride and a statement of integrity and stability and strength and service to the community. All those things you think about when you think about the fire service.
Okay. A couple other principles. What about the facility itself and maybe incorporating some of our history of the fire department?
We want the facility to be user-friendly. And we want it to be user-friendly for the fire department, but we also want it to be user-friendly for the public because this is a public facility and we want to be able to allow the public access for different events. We want them to be able to walk the grounds, and that's one of the neat things that Wold has incorporated in their plan, is ensuring that not only the station itself is a model for the city, but also the grounds surrounding the station. And one of the things they're doing to make that happen is they're implementing a lot of history of the Cottage Grove Fire Department into the building and into the grounds, so that as you walk through the facility and through the grounds, you have a much better understanding of our community and the fire service as it relates to our community.
And as we plan a facility, folks always ask us, how long are we planning for? And so when you're building a building, there's quite a bit of cost and effort that goes into it, and it's always hard to know the future, but how long are we planning for the building to last?
You know, you really hit the nail on the head there. It's a bit of a guessing game. As we said with our Public Safety City Hall facility, we would like to see these sorts of buildings be in use for that 20 to 30 year mark at minimum, and hopefully beyond that. So we try to plan for the future and look at the sorts of building materials that we need to use, the sorts of technology that we need to implement, the flexibility of spaces, etc., so that you know, city councils of the future and fire chiefs of the future, and for that matter, you know, people who are going to be working in a fire service of the future have a building that will meet their needs down the road.
And we're looking at a facility that's about 32,000 square feet, almost 33,000 square feet. And some of the things that we're looking at, including in that building, at least as far as the initial schematic design, are?
We're looking at a new apparatus bay because, again, as the fire service has evolved, so has the equipment. We are looking at additional storage space, office space, a very, very nice public lobby with some public meeting spaces. And I think one of the most important elements is we need to have a space where our firefighters can store their gear that has really good ventilation to sort of ventilate off all of the gases and different toxic materials, frankly, that come from fighting fires. And our facility today does not provide that. So this is a way to keep our firefighters safe and to protect their health today and into the future.
And one of the other things our facility doesn't provide today is really some good living spaces and locker rooms, and that's
Correct.
As you talked about the 24/7 nature of the fire service.
Yes, you know, as you look at the facility that we have today, it becomes very apparent very quickly that it is not a space that is conducive to commingling of men and women, people of you know, different ages, et cetera, and we want to make sure that we provide them with a living space that's essentially as comfortable as their home.
All right. Well, some of the next steps for the fire station include the final schematic design will go to council on August 10th, and then we're hoping to see design development take place in October and be underway with construction in spring of 2017. But for any more information about this new central fire station, please contact Fire Chief Rick Rodinas. Thank you, Councilmember Olsen.
And thank you.